We begin at the end of the road. A tavern poorly named, as it actually is on the busiest thoroughfare for the main traders running in and out of Greystone. It's evening, and the two of you are sat in a side room. Fairly quiet, considering the sound of the chatter coming from the main area of the tavern. There is a dense smoke hanging in the air, verging on obscuring your sight, but not enough to make out that there is also a couple of humans on the other table in this room. You two had answered a call for a high-risk, high-reward job. Recovery of high-value treasure. It's a fair while that you're sat waiting for any sign of communication or contact until one of the humans leaves, closing the door behind them, and the remaining moves to your table, pulling up a chair. I'll be honest, I had hoped for more, but I think we can manage with just you. May work in our favour having a smaller group, I suppose. You can call me Raikhan Dag. You can see on closer inspection, this man is wearing wealthy-looking clothes under a rough-looking cloak. Greyish hair and a tired face scanning the two of you. So, who do we have then? And his gaze falls upon the taller of the figures. Dom, who are you? What do we see?
Yes. I couldn't quite remember what Rob's character was, so I wasn't sure if I was taller or not for a second there, but I am, definitely now I recall. So yes, in front of you at the table is a almost skittering figure, quite slender. At first glance, you'd probably say maybe an elf, maybe a half-elf, that sort of area of race. He's wearing a deep green cloak underneath, and in fact on his face he's wearing an almost chitinous armour. His face is half covered by a mask which has two sort of prongs or horns pointing upwards, again almost insectoid in appearance, and he rarely sits still as he introduces himself as Dritka, or, if you prefer, Stag of the Wandering Breeze.
Ah.
I'll change my name on here.
Dritka. Well, Stag it is.
Dritka.
Dritka. Excellent. He then turns his gaze to you, Rob. Who are you and what do we see?
You see a diminutive cloaked figure. Not technically diminutive by the rules, but just very short. Just making that clear. He's sort of almost like swaddled in this like wretched, like tatty cloak that has like balls of like matted like just debris all over him, basically. Beneath there is a glint of some kind of well-made, scaly-looking armor, and he has two claws. Two clawed hands, I should say, not just two. Two clawed hands which he has open in front of him like these talons intersected like that. And it is clear from these scales that you're looking at a kobold. But this is not just any kind of kobold. I will go into what he is later. But you can see that this is an entity of draconic descent. But he looks also incredibly advanced in age. He has wisps of scales and like hair / feathers like that fill thick eyebrows. He has kind of like a long goatee and like tendrils that are like thrown back into like a mad hairstyle. To try and give you like an apt description, if you imagine Uncle Deadly from the Muppets, That's kind of what he looks like. It's just this
Thanks.
gargoyle-like kobold that's hunched over, and he says, "This person's addressed us, right?"
Yes.
He will say, "I am simply known as the Worm."
Is that the worm with a Y?
That is a worm with a Y, baby.
Of course it is. Of course it is.
And he's glancing around, taking everything in, clearly nervous. A kobold in this sophisticated environment.
Is that worm or the worm?
The Worm.
Okay, the worm.
Rot from the matter of dragons.
I see. Well, Dritkar, the worm. The business at hand. Drit. I'm a collector of rare antiquities, and one of my pieces has been stolen. A warhammer known as Whelm. As per the call-out, I will offer you 10,000 gold to recover it. He reaches into his pocket. Upon learning it had been stolen, I received this. And he slides across the table a letter. You may read.
Is it in common?
It is, yes. It says, "Search ye far, or search ye near, you'll find no trace of the three, unless you follow instructions clear. For the weapons abide with me. North past forest, farm and furrow, you must go to reach the feathered mound. Then down away from the sun you'll burrow. Forget life, forget light, forget sound. To rescue wave you must do battle with the beast in the boiling bubble. Crossed cavern vast where chain links rattle, lies Whelm past waterspouts double. Black razor yet remains to be won, underneath inverted cigarette. That garnered, think not that you're done, for now you'll find you are caught. I care not, former owners brave, what heroes you seek to hire. Though mighty, each shall be my slave, or vanish into the fire." And it is signed K.
Okay. It's a riddle.
Yes, I adore riddles.
I enjoy a riddle too, although I'm not very good at them. I enjoy the pursuit.
Yes, it is all about the chase.
Well, I'm glad you're keen. By the looks of this letter, I'm not the only person who has had a piece stolen from them. By the sounds of it, that is the owners of Wave and Black Razor. All we can figure out is a few things. First is the feathered mound, and the other the signature K. The mound we have figured out as White Plume Mountain. It is the only place that fits the brief. As for the K, playing on the legend of the area, they must be impersonating the ancient wizard Keraptis. Obviously an imposter, and my sources agree to that. But with Keraptis' past with the mountain, it further cements that theory.
What's his past with the mountain? This Keraptis wizard fellow.
It is said that about 1,000 years ago, well, so the books say, the wizard Keraptis was searching for a suitable place to which he could indulge his eccentricities without fear of interference. Criminal in his own time, apparently he found White Plume Mountain, and then vanished. There are documents that say they weren't searching for him there, but the once feared name of Keraptis is little known nowadays, even to learned scholars beyond that. Poppycock, though. No person could live for 1,300 years, not in the slightest. It is there as a clue to bring us to the right place. And I will say this. I don't mind what happens to the other weapons on this list. The way I see it, all the parties hired will be taking what they find. I'm sure the owner of Wave and the owner of Black Razor will be doing just the same and telling them just the same. So long as Whelm is back in my possession, you can do what you see fit with the rest of the items you may find there.
Might I ask a question?
Of course, the worm.
I was wondering, such trinkets, such treasures, are they related in some way?
A good question.
Not to my knowledge. It is said that Whelm was once owned by a great dwarven hero. But be there any definitive connection between Wave and Black Razor, I do not know. I've only been able to do some research into Whelm's history. And what I have found is that it was owned, its owners date back various, but its most famous was a dwarf by the name of Dagnor Mightyhammer, who was a skilled weaponsmith of the Dankil clan. But as with all my antiquities, I seek to learn more of them, and that is all I know of it at the time. But I'd like to learn more, and if you can bring it back to me, I will endeavour to find out more about it.
What would you suggest, in your wisdom, should our first move be?
I would suggest you, if you're willing to accept the job, you gather your supplies and you head north.
No.
You will find about a couple of miles from White Plume Mountain, the small village of Yellowreach. So if you need to pick up supplies, they would have a few there. And if you needed a safe place to recuperate, Yellowreach would be the best solution. However, if the two of you are ready, I would suggest you leave sooner rather than later. I do not know how quickly or who else the owners be for Wave and Black Razor, but I have no doubt they will be seeking to reclaim their lost treasure just as I am. If you can get there before them, or for you.
You haven't tried to reach out to these other owners then?
I don't know who they are.
Fair enough.
We don't make a habit of talking to each other in small circles. Typically, the most we ever meet of someone is in an auction house.
In these auction houses, do the usual clientele express violence to one another?
No, only possibly in how much coin is offered.
Violent coin. Sounds good.
Yes.
In a matter of speaking, yes. But I have no clue as to who these owners may be. They may not even be in the immediate realm. They could be much further afield.
I would like to take a look up and down of this fellow. Does he appear to be an honest sort? Or some blackguard with a tail to spin? Can I make a sense motive check on him, please?
You can, yes.
Oh, I just posted that. I didn't mean to. Okay. So, sense motive. $13 for the worm.
What your scaly eyes see.
From what you can gather, this man is being fairly genuine with you. This is a man who, in the look of someone who is wealthy, is most certainly willing to offer coin in exchange for services. He wouldn't be the type to get his hands dirty. Doesn't have the muscles on him to do so. But it does seem like he's telling an honest tale, in that this is a genuine thing. He has lost an item and will give you money in exchange.
Did you say he was at a table with other people before?
No, he was at, well, sorry, yes, he was at a table with one other person in this side room, and then that person left. Yeah.
Who were you just talking to? Who was the other fellow?
He was one of my butlers. I say one of my butlers, my only butler. I say butler, he's more my bodyguard, really. I didn't know who to expect and who would turn up today. And we gave it some time, and, well, it was just the two of you who showed. And I didn't want to be jumped on my own. He's currently getting a drink at the bar, giving us time to talk.
I'm sorry, in my advanced age, I appear to have forgotten. What's your name again?
Of course, my name is Dak.
Dak. That's right, thank you. I have to make sure that I remember these things.
Of course.
If only my mind was protected from the ravages of time.
Well, he looks at the two of you and says, well, I will remain here for a day, and then, should it be any longer, I will assume no one else is joining. But I will leave. I will leave my contacts here. If it's not me or my bodyguard, somebody will be here to inform me when you arrive. And should you have Whelm with you, I will return and we will do the trade.
Very well. We thank you for this proposition. Or at least I do. I cannot speak for Dritka.
Great. I look forward to fulfilling my obligation to you. Dritka.
Excellent. Well, if that's the case, I'll let you go. I hope to see you all soon. And he gets up and he goes to leave the tavern. And at this point, I shall cut across and I will say hello and welcome to Roll the Bones with another Let's Dig Up. And I'm Mike, I'm DMing White Plume Mountain for you, another acclaimed module from back in the day. Joining me is our grand players, the Glorious Dom and I was trying to mix up Glorious, but the Glorious Rob as well. You get
Thank you, I was going to say, the Glorious Rob and the Glorious Dom and Rob, I guess.
Rob, I guess.
That's fine.
And the other one.
And the other one.
The other one. So, yes, for those of you who have tuned into a few of our Let's Dig Ups before, we are running a series of games exploring some of the older modules and seeing how they work. And we're doing it in quite an open way, in that all my roles will be public, and to keep it as open and as random as possible, everything that has been scripted for the players has been done so through rolling, be it the race, the class, all the stats. Everything was decided by the roll of a dice. So we will find out as the game progresses how well you will fare.
We shall
Not
see.
well, I suspect.
We shall see.
Yes. So, without further ado, I will turn to the two of you and say, are you ready?
Oh, I am as ready as I will ever be, I think.
I'm so ready. I
Let's
can't
go.
believe it.
Let's go.
Well, in that case, after a brief respite in Yellow Reach, you have travelled north, and a few miles away from Yellow Reach, it's already very clear White Plume Mountain has been a figurehead on the distance for a very long time, and you have been pushing towards it for many days, and now travelling towards it only a couple of hours, you find yourself scaling the south slope of the mountain. You soon located an entry tunnel leading into the rock and emerged in a cave that actually seemed to breathe, exhaling a large cloud of steam and then slowly inhaling again, like a man breathing on a cold day. Inside, the cavern floor was covered with muck, obviously a byproduct of the condensation dripping from the walls and ceiling. Hidden beneath this mud, near the back of the cavern, you discovered a simple trapdoor set with an iron ring. And now, below the opening, a square vertical shaft beckons.
Oh gosh, I'm in perfect darkness.
I've snapped you to where you are. You should be able to see.
Whoa, I'm...
This is a
Zoom.
big map. Already I'm quite scared.
Can you see your tokens?
Yes.
Yes.
And do you have control?
Do you feel in control?
Are you in control? I am in control, yes, my goodness.
I
this
am in
is...
control.
Wow, this is zoomed in.
I shall start then by saying that a rusty metal staircase spirals down into warm, humid darkness. The stairs seem to vibrate slightly, as if in tune with some inaudible subterranean rumbling.
The worm runs his talons through his scaly goatee, and says, "The mountain. Its breath reminded me of the dragons."
It's funny you should say that. The mountain's breath reminded me of a volcano.
What is a volcano?
That's a good question. Where I'm from, it's so many things. It's a whisper on the breeze. It's a snake slithering through the grass, bursting up to catch a bird. It's an anthill bursting with fire ants.
To me, it is a word that I have no knowledge of, but I hope to learn soon its meaning.
Perhaps we will find out. Shall we go around that corner?
Let us descend after you, my dear friend.
I will say
No,
this.
no, after you, I insist.
Stepping off the ladder, you notice the entire floor is ever so slightly flooded, and it all seems to come up to a depth of about a foot. So I don't know what your speeds would be, but this all counts technically as difficult terrain. So you would be 2 squares for the price of 1.
I should say, for the kobold that I've chosen, they have fast movement speed for a small creature. I have 30 feet.
Does your armor slow you down?
No.
Perfect. So technically, both of you then, I imagine, are only moving at 15 feet through this water. Yes, it is murky, standing water. It covers the majority of where you are.
The worm will mark our progress and think this terrain is dangerous. It might slow our reactions. Come, I shall share with you the power the dragons wrought upon me. And as a swift action, he will activate his minor aura, which is called... it is called Motivate Dexterity. So he adds his charisma bonus to dexterity checks, dexterity-based skills, and initiative.
Very nice.
So, giving us a bit of a boost in if we are surprised in any way, we'll be able to roll initiative with the bonus of his charisma, which is a +5 bonus.
And is that +5 as well for Dritka?
Yes, yeah. It's. I'm so sorry. It's for Dritka. It's not for the worm. I don't believe marshals benefit from their own auras. It doesn't seem like they do anyway.
That would be weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought maybe they will, because you are considered an ally to yourself, you know?
I suppose.
That's what
It just says any or all of his allies, so I don't know. I can't grant myself movement, that's for sure. I can't grant myself the movement thing, but okay, well we'll say that for sure. But I thought it was I thought it wasn't the case. But for now, let's say that, and we'll look into that later on.
We'll look into that definitely. But I think that's a fair assumption for now. Just to keep you going.
Very good.
So I get your charisma bonus on my dexterity
on your
checks.
Dexterity checks and skills and initiative checks. I'll try and remind you if it comes up.
Yeah.
Great, thank you.
So with that, then the worm, ensuring that he remains within the distance that he needs to stay in the aura, he's just going to follow you around. He'll say, "Dritka, I have a suggestion about the tactics I can lend us in such a dreadful environment as this. Should hostilities occur, I will talk to you about it then. But there is much we need to prepare for in this place."
Very well.
You find this corridor is it's about as high as it is wide. It's a damp, carved out corridor, that water and condensation clinging to the walls as well, that stand about 10 feet high. The temperature is like that of a hot summer's day, about mid-30s, maybe 75 for our American viewers, but it is, for an indoor place, quite toasty. Not enough to slow you down, but just to acknowledge this is quite a hot place.
Good. I hail from the desert. I would keep it hot.
I'm wondering whether or not I want to walk through this water. Dritka fuck it, why not? Decides to cast Airwalk on himself and just walks a couple of feet above the water.
Nice.
That is
The way that visualizes for everyone around him is he gets these like the sort of insectoid wings, like a bee's wings, flutter behind him and just lift him into the air as he steps above the water.
Nice. Does that affect your speed at all, or is it?
No, it's just I can walk on the air as if it's. I can walk uphill on air if I wish, or downhill to go down. I can move a maximum of 45 degrees.
Well, the water won't slow you down then, as you are not in it.
As the worm is trudging, his speed reduced. He's sort of like having to like push to keep up with his flying friend. He's going to unsheath a blade. There's a shing, and a small gleaming rapier is in his hand. And what he does is he tosses a vial into the air, and he just goes yeah, and tries to like smash it onto his blade to apply the effect of this bottle onto his weapon. I need to roll something. So I'm gonna roll a D100, okay? And I don't want to roll a 1, a 2, a 3, a 4, or a 5, okay?
Okay.
If I roll that, then we have an issue. Cool.
I have a suspicion there, but
no, I mean it's clear what he's doing. He's applied some kind of liquid to his blade, and then like he eyes it with like a suspicious, not a suspicious, like a mischievous look, and then puts the tiny, the small rapier back into its rather ornate-looking scabbard.
What did you just do to that? Maybe I can help you out with something. Got a little trick. I don't really like iron myself, but I know how to make it cut a little deeper, if you know what I mean.
I have applied the kiss of the dragon to this barb. I have poisoned my blade. As you can see here, I have to make every advantage count against the great foes. You don't get to my age without poisoning a blade or two.
Well, allow me to give you another little boon for the next hour or so. And he takes out a little bug and places it on the sword's hilt. That's a little soldier ant with a very sharp little bite. And it sort of scurries and goes into the sword, and he casts Keen Edge upon your rapier, my good man.
So does that make the rapier act as a keen weapon?
It does. It doubles your crit range.
Now, will that still work even though I have a magic on my sword already?
Unless it's got a keen edge already. It doesn't double it.
Okay, interesting.
yes.
Very cool. Yes, he'll and he'll swing the blade, and it appears to have like a glint, an even greater glint to it. Then he's very happy, and that lasts for how long?
That lasts for 80 minutes. 80.
8-0.
Aye.
Let us examine the way ahead. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. He'll get to this corner here, and then he's going to try and peek round the corner, hoping that as he's a bit lower down, he might not attract as much notice.
You can, but the DC is going to be slightly harder because of the water. Ever so slightly.
What skill are you asking me to do to peek round? Is that a hide?
Move silently.
Move silently, okay. Now,
Can I
move
move silently as well?
silently, I took the trouble of putting some into this anyway.
Oh,
It was expensive.
I took a little move silently as well.
So
92! No, that's
Wow.
that's the D100 roll. Still from before.
sorry, I'm just making sure I've got all this ready. So my move silently. 13. That's the number. That's the number of the worm.
Did it
And me.
rolled a 26 for his move silently?
As I remember, I get to do this publicly with you.
You should be making all of your rolls publicly. Absolutely.
Something.
Fucking hell.
You peek around and something hears and sees you quite easily. But I will permit you now to pop your head around and have a look.
What?
You see a bedraggled creature rests on a 2-foot-high pile of bones that fills the intersection. The creature's body looks like that of a mangy lion, and great tattered wings lie folded at its sides. A female humanoid face peers out from beneath the tangled mat of hair that covers its head.
Do we recognize what manner of beast this is?
You can give me a knowledge... I believe it's a knowledge arcana.
Oh,
It's a real shame.
That is a shame.
17, that's not bad.
Do you have it, the worm?
I do not have knowledge arcana, I'm afraid. I could choose any knowledge with this class, though, which was quite interesting.
Dritkar, you recognize that this is a sphinx. A gynosphinx, to be specific.
A gynosphinx? Is that like a inspector of...
I don't know what you are implying, Dritkar.
Cryptic vaginas.
Well, I could change the pronunciation to gynosphinx if you'd prefer.
I don't mind, I'm happy. Either way.
We're all very happy.
Does it look aggressive anyway?
The creature, as you are kind of peering around, seems to slowly kind of stretch itself a bit, as it then starts to bring itself up a bit to sit more like a cat that sat watching you. It sits there, wings now at its side, and its head is now starting to gaze down the corridor a bit.
Drit will lean over to the worm and say, "That's Gynosphinx, the worm. A lover of riddles, probably. Don't know much about them, but probably very dangerous."
It is the way of things. If there is treasure beyond, there will be a guardian to stand in our way.
Makes sense.
If it might harm us, then it may be well that you approach first, Dritkar.
You know what they say, the worm. age before beauty.
You may call me Worm if it is causing you difficulty in addressing me. I have to say that your name is somewhat of a hurdle for my aged enunciation.
I'm fine with calling you the Worm. It's fine for me. Drit doesn't have any particular difficulties for those without teeth, does it?
I have a few teeth remaining to me, I'll have you know. I do check them on a regular basis. Very well, I, the Worm.
Why don't we approach together?
Yes, what a apt and fair idea. And he'll trudge, careful to make sure that his small steps match the floating ones of Drit.
Of course. As you bend the corner and start to walk towards the Sphinx, the creature doesn't look surprised, but sort of acknowledges to itself. And she goes, I did not mistake them. It is good to see more guests down in Keraptis' domain. Welcome. I seek no harm with you per se, but I have to prevent your passage of the 3 ways that stem within this layer. But I propose to you this. Each passage is protected by a riddle. You pass my riddle. Maybe you pass unscathed. If you are unsuccessful, you stay. And if you intend to fight back, well, and she looks down at the body of bones that she has been sat on, I would be more than happy to add you to my collection. Does that sound fair to the 2 of you?
You know, the Worm was just saying the other day how much he loves a riddle.
My enjoyment of these things is much more as an audience member, something that I like to behold rather than partake in. Though it is interesting, if it is your interest, riddles that is, if it is your interest to spin these riddles, perhaps it is you that compose this delightful missive that drew us to the very mountain you challenge us to enter. And he goes and rolls down the parchment to reveal the riddle that summoned us here to see how she reacts. Is a she, sorry.
It is a she, yes.
Okay.
She looks at the letter. I recognize Keraptis' writing, yes.
It is a fine
And I know
hand.
that it is. And those 3 weapons do linger here. However, I could not tell you where they are. West, north, or east. I know one lies in each direction, but I do not know which. You will have to discover that for yourself. But
Is
in
that
answer,
part of the riddle?
it is part of Keraptis' game for you.
I see.
Now, do you wish to agree to my terms? A riddle of passage.
There's not really any alternative, is there?
The Sphinx takes its claw and taps it on the bone, and there is a flash of light above you on the ceiling as you notice a magical symbol stops glowing, as there is a kind of a burst of light, and then it fully dissipates.
What was that?
That was contingency, should you try to charge. And be warned,
I wouldn't dare.
only with a correct answer will you find safe passage down the others.
Then please allow us to pass so we may indulge in these riddles.
Of course. But you must tell me, west, north, or east? And for your benefit, the compass is straight as it is, so north is directly behind, west would be left, and east would be right.
Well, the northerly wind blows strongest.
Yes, it's where Festoon Reacts' lair lies.
Festoon reacts.
Yes. Should I not mention how I was wrought by the power of the dragon?
You know, on our travels, you did mention that a few times, eh?
I just cannot recall whether or not I shared it with you previously, but it's always good to make sure of these things.
I was starting to think that's all you spoke about.
It might actually be.
To buy the dragons you were.
Yes, we will see. Did you notice how I rather deftly tricked that fellow that gave us this endeavour? Tricked him into believing that I was in cognitive decline, the fool.
I didn't.
My advanced stage has no effect on my mental faculties, I can assure you.
That's good to know, considering we're about to try and answer a riddle.
Let us go forth then, north, we say, by Festoon Reacts' ring.
By his ring? Does he have a nice ring?
He lives in this ring that's made of fire. It's quite impressive.
Oh, okay. Is he a red dragon then?
I don't
Gold?
think so. I've never met Festoon Reacts.
Oh, okay.
I serve him, and I was wrought by him, but I've never met the dragon. No.
You notice the Sphinx is starting to roll its eyes at the two of you.
Apologies. Do elucidate us with your magnificent riddle.
North it is. Round she is, yet flat as a board, altar of the lupine lords, jewel on black velvet, pearl in the sea, unchanged but e'er-changing, eternally.
Oh, I think I know this one. Dritka.
I think I might know it too.
Shall we say it? Do we go 3, 2, 1, and then say it?
Let's.
3,
3, 2,
1.
The moon! I hope that's right, otherwise you're going to look really stupid.
Takes a long look at you. Then rears back. Correct.
Yes, it is correct, of course.
And then sits back, relaxes, and just acknowledges. You may pass.
Ah. Then we shall have to make our way.
Just go around you there.
Excuse me, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I do
it's
apologize.
okay, thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, sorry.
Trying to tread on your wings. Your master don't do anything about this water.
But yeah, it's rather.
It's a bit inconvenient. You'll catch a cold.
It's fetid.
It is fetid.
Previous adventurers from a long time past were careless, reckless.
Ah.
You'll get ill is what I'm saying. I'm not suggesting it's your fault.
The Sphinx looks at the two of you. I may collect your bones yet.
Well,
And it goes back to sort of relaxing on its pile.
not before we get bloody jaundice in this water.
Of course, I know where it's come from. I hope it's not grey water. Disgusting.
The worm is going to look in that little alcove there. He glimpses
Yes.
It's alcove.
in.
Excellent. A large circular alcove, about 10 feet in diameter, extends out from the right side of the hallway. Its floor is covered in the same brackish, calf-deep water as the corridor.
So really, if it's calf deep for a medium-sized creature, that's up to the worm's waist.
Pretty much.
Lovely.
The
Like
worm.
you've got a tail to help you.
Well, I do have another suggestion if you would be open to hearing it, Dritka.
Oh, yeah?
The worm opens his pack and just drops a riding saddle into the water, and then says, "Would you be open to bearing me?"
I'm not sure I'm strong enough, to be honest. You look quite heavy.
He sort of looks a bit disappointed and puts the saddle, which I have spent the gold on, by the way. That was 20 gold pieces for that joke. It wasn't even a good joke. He then puts the riding saddle back into his compartment.
You just have 20 gold pieces left.
I that was one of the first things I bought, actually.
Excellent. I'm certainly not wearing a saddle.
Well, I was rather hoping you would, but never mind. Let us proceed.
So there's nothing in this alcove?
You can give me a search check, or you can just walk in. It's up to you.
I'm just walking in. I'm not an idiot.
A search check, yes, that's a good idea.
Let's do a search.
Yes.
Why not? That's a 19. That's pretty good.
And for the worm,
18, my friend.
it's both very easy.
My eyes are keener than
you to
yours.
take. Actually, this is a 20-foot deep pit, and stepping in there would see you plummet into the brackish waters.
Oh dear. I'm not very good at swimming either. Although, to be fair, I can fly, so it's not so bad.
It is something that I've long dreamed of, flying. Maybe one day.
Is that what the saddle's for? Is that for a little dragon for you to fly on?
It would be.
Is that what you had in mind? Have you bought that in advance of getting a little dragon mount?
I believe it would be considered blasphemy for one of my ilk to use one of the godlike entities as a common steed. Ditka, we are humble servants of their immense power.
What about some of the lesser draconic species? Like, I've forgotten all their names.
There's the wyvern. That's usually
Sure, the wyvern.
The pig cousin of my
Pig cousin.
Yes, pig cousins. That's what we call them. They're not worthy to shine our talons. No. We do not speak of the wyvern in any kind tone. Shall we proceed?
Let's proceed.
You proceed. I'll pause you for a second there. The hallway opens into a large water-filled chamber. On the opposite side, a flight of wide stairs leads up out of the water and out through an arched opening. On the east wall is a closed door.
East wall.
Still the same amount of water, sorry, saying the same depth. Well, we can't tell the depth, I suppose, but there's still water covering this whole thing, right?
Yeah, there's still water covering the entire room. Except for when you get to the stairs at the back, that looks like it takes you out of that water.
Those stairs look mercifully dry.
Yes, they do. Let us perhaps hug the corners and sides of the hall.
Are you still airwalking, Dritka?
I'm still airwalking, yeah. Why?
You
No reason.
walking fine. The worm, I'm going to pause you right there. Dritka, you were back a space as well.
Back one space.
Do you want me to go back one or two, or...?
No, where you were. You were there.
Yep.
You had stepped forward. You step forward and actually soon discover that the ledges around this room are completely camouflaged, and what you have done is stepped off a ledge and into deep water. I need to just put that on there. There we are. Does that? Yes.
Drakar hears this, turns around and goes, "The worm? Where have you gone?"
Two things that need firstly to happen. One, the worm. I need you to make a fortitude saving throw.
That happens to be my best save. 24!
Okay. And from the middle of the brink, you can just make out underwater some movement. As I need the two of you to roll initiative.
My aura is not broken by me swimming or doing any kind of move action or anything like that. So that means that you are adding +5 to your initiative modifier.
Amazing. That is going to be a very high initiative.
That is a natural 1 on my initiative.
That is 31 on Drakar's initiative.
That's good.
I'm just going to pretend on opposite ends of that.
I'm just going to pretend that I'm going first, but delay my roll until the end of the turn.
The worm last. Okay. Unless something else joined you in that endeavour.
The worm would be very annoyed if he knew, because he did say let's hug the walls. He just chose the wrong way. Chose the wrong way.
Okay. Oh, I'm sorry, that was the wrong modifier. Ignore that one. It's actually...
Yeah.
Oh, the same, but... So it actually does that. That's convenient. Let us see what horrors of the White Plume Mountain there are. A popular favourite, I believe. We start with Rit Car. You have seen that the worm has dropped in, but you can also make out there is a bit of motion happening beneath this opaque, dirty, brackish water.
Can I see? I can't see where, presumably.
You can see movement, but it would be very, unless you had something to guide you, it would be quite difficult at this moment.
Okay. In which case, why don't we... Since I can't see anything, I will... Fuck it. Yeah, it worked quite well last time. It's bound to work again this time. Drit will cast Hypnotism. In an attempt to hypnotize any creatures looking at him, to fascinate them. So they have to make a will save. They get a +2 because this is in combat, and the will save is 16. I can do 2d4 HD of creatures, so it may be that this is...
I am going to pause you there. The creatures currently have total concealment, which also means you've got total concealment. You can't see each other, they can't see you.
Okay. I will... in that case... They cannot see me. I will... Can I hold an action?
Yes.
I will hold a fairy fire to cast on the first enemy creature that I see.
Okay.
Which will light them up like a beacon, and then we can see them even in the water.
Very nice. We cut.
And I will also walk up away from the water. So I'll walk up into the middle of the room and a 45-degree angle, so then 10 feet up as well. So I'm a little bit away from the water.
Yeah.
That's a great spell.
From where you are, you see beneath you the water start to bubble as from your... How high are you?
10 feet.
10 feet. Oh. Can it? The creature below you breaches the surface as a weird lobster zombie-like creature, a type of chul, emerges from the water. Do you want to take that held action now before I carry on?
Yeah, I'd love to. So there's no saving throw. It just... it becomes outlined. Subjects shed light as candles. They do not benefit from the concealment normally provided by darkness, blur, displacement, invisibility, or similar effects.
Glowing in the water. Love it.
Yeah, so a load of fireflies go and just buzz around it, lighting it up in the water.
And there's no save at all?
There's no save.
Excellent stuff. It appears, and for it attempts to swim up, and these awful-looking pincers and tentacles are coming from it, attempt to reach up, but it just can't reach you. So you are just out of range of it.
Like it moved.
As it is struggling to reach you. The other creature.
Gulp.
Let's see, I need to just do a measurement because... Within sensing the tremors in the water, a creature swims over to you, and in front of you, the worm is now an awful-looking woman. A hag of a woman.
Hag.
And before anything, I need you to make a fortitude save.
Okay, a fortitude save. I'll do my very best. $13.
The DC is 13, which means you have not exceeded it, which means its appearance is so horrible that you take 8 strength damage.
Okay.
That's just its appearance. This sea hag swims in front of you, and it opens up its eyes as it attempts to throw upon you an awful gaze. Can you make a will save, please?
If I'm on -2 strength, does that mean I'm dead?
Well, your strength...
It's 6. I'm a kobold, remember?
It's -2.
Yeah.
Let me just check something. Right, give me a moment. Right, bear with me. I'm just trying to find the specific rule, and it's not come up there.
It says a character with strength 0 falls to the ground and is helpless. But I didn't say anything about minus at all, so...
What I think's happened is your muscles have stopped working, and...
Cool.
But... Zero strength means the character cannot move at all. He lies helpless on the ground. Unfortunately, you are in murky, horrible water. So, you can't move, which means you are essentially drowning. You can hold your breath for a number of rounds equal to twice your Constitution score.
Yep.
After this, you have to do a check, and if you fail the check, you're going to fall unconscious, and then that starts. So, what is your Constitution score?
I've already worked out. I know how long I have.
Care to share?
Do you want me to tell you?
Yes.
So my Constitution score is 14 times 2.
28 rounds.
Yeah. And you asked me to do a will save as well, right?
I did, yes.
Oh, it didn't roll.
The DC is 13.
Yeah, you should be telling me the DCs.
Oh.
I've not rolled higher than that all session.
No. The gaze from this creature is so frightful, it puts you in a daze. A daze that will last 3 days.
Okay, so daze means like -2 to things, right? I believe, right?
I can tell you what it means. Dazed. You can take no actions, but you have no penalty to armor class.
So I can take no actions for 3 days, is what you're saying?
That can't be. That says.
That's insane.
So
Surely
I
not dazed
can't
for 3 days.
swim, and I can't take any actions for 3 days.
The creature is unable to act normally. A dazed creature can take no actions, but has no penalty to armor class. Sea Hag. I will happily tell you this with the Sea Hag. The target creature must succeed on a DC 13 will save or be dazed for 3 days. Although there are some things that can restore your sanity. In addition, as you have failed, you need to make a fortitude save of DC 13, please.
I need to make another fortitude save, you're saying?
Yes, DC 13, or the next is just going to be a miserable start.
Oh, because it's been fucking hunky-dory so far.
Do not.
15.
You don't die from fright.
Fucking hell.
That's the Sea Hag for you. That is its turn. The worm. I guess you're just floating and unable to
I've
move.
just gone under the water, I guess. I don't know. I guess, well, I suppose you don't go straight down, do you? If you're not doing anything, you'll just be like, you'll slowly, like, I guess. Yeah, what a horrible thing to imagine.
Horrible. Dritkar. Back to the top of the round. You don't know what's going on underwater, but you know that there is a type of chul trying to pincer you. You do know that the worm went for a dip a second ago.
So I'm thinking, probably a good idea to try and get him out, right? Like, that's not too metagamey to...
Yeah, it's fair, but I won't be able to act for 3 days, so I won't be of any use to you if you do save me.
That's fine, but we don't want you to die immediately.
There are potentially things, but it would take somebody to observe you or do like an investigation to see if there are ways of curing that.
I'm sure that Sea Hag and that Chul are going to be very accommodating about that.
Yeah, they'll help you out. I'm gonna summon Nature's Ally 3 with my round, which summons a small water elemental.
A small water elemental? Now that will come in next round, won't it?
Quite right.
Yes.
Do I have any, or do I steal from the web? My library.
That's my library.
What happens then as I search for a token? You're spending this whole round bringing forth this creature from this fetid water. We cut to the Chul, who is actually a relatively smart creature. And knows it can't reach you from where it is, and instead starts circling around underneath you like a shark, maintaining watch on its prey, but its eyes just keep staring up at you.
Great.
The Sea Hag isn't too bothered to go any further. The kobold will be a nice snack in a bit. And so the Sea Hag swims up and climbs out onto the platform here. Can you see the Sea Hag, Drit?
I mean, it's directly behind me, but I think that's probably up to you.
If you are busy kind of not looking at it, then this isn't going to happen just yet. Which in that case is all it will do this round. Which means we jump back to the worm. Now the worm at this point... 2. That is all we've got for the moment. We cut to the top of the round. Drit. How big is this water elemental?
It's small. But so is the worm, so that's fine.
Controlled by Drit Car. And let me put upon it a tint colour. There we go.
Drit gets to choose where it appears, though.
You do. You should have control.
Do you feel in control?
Do you in control?
You
I do feel in control.
control.
So I do know where he plunged into the water, so I'll make it appear there.
Mm-hmm.
And I will command it
Hang
to
on,
find
how
the
did I get all the
worm.
way to the corner before realising, surely I should have dropped straight off that edge?
It's actually because I got your tokens confused. I thought you went forward, and Dom had gone that way. So in theory, it should be.
I should be there then. Well, it's too
Yeah,
late now.
that's-
Doesn't matter.
Yeah,
It doesn't matter too much.
we'll just say you
yes.
drifted.
I'll command the small elemental to find the worm, and should he be in dire straits, to rescue him to land.
Mm-hmm.
And presumably, when I point, he was over there, I'll turn around and see the Sea Hag.
Yes, and when you do that, you witness something horrible. Its appearance is so bad. Can you make a fortitude save, please? DC 13.
Yes. I would if my document would react to me. It's currently not. DC 13. This could go very poorly. 15.
You do not suffer from the horrible visage that is Sea Hag. No strength damage for you today.
Excellent. I mean, it would kill me. So I can still do a standard action, right?
Yep.
In which case, you are the ugliest thing I've ever seen. When you're around, and lightning bolt.
Oh.
Reflex save, please, from the Sea Hag.
DC.
DC. This is my highest level spell, 19.
22 from the Sea Hag, as it takes half damage from this.
Right. Half damage, so it's 1d6 per level, so that's 8d6 total, halved. Oh, fuck's sake. Try again. 10 points of electrical damage.
It stands on the spot and then just starts going as the seaweed for hair, the abscesses in its skin, everything just starts to explode and burst. But it's still standing.
That's fine, I can do another one of those next turn.
So it is a brutal thing. Anything more? Do you want to jump to the elemental?
Yeah, jump to the elemental.
You jump to the elemental. I don't really need to ask you to do a search check because it's a water elemental. It can just sense what's going on in the water. It easily finds the floating body of the worm. The worm looks like it's holding his breath, but also doing nothing else. Just stunned. 1,000-yard stare. It's just not. Something isn't right. But is he going to start the process of trying to lift him out?
Yeah, so it's got, it can move 90 feet.
Then it can easily sweep, grabbing the worm and bring it up to...
I think it'd probably just bring it to the surface because the Sea Hag is in the way at the moment of the land. It probably wouldn't be stupid enough
land
to dump
as
it
well.
next to the Sea Hag.
If the worm was lying down in the land, would still be submerged. The only place it's not is the staircase at the back of the room.
Ah, okay. Then maybe it'll take it over there, towards that.
So would you've used about 15 feet. You can easily reach the staircase.
Great, let's dump him on the staircase then.
The water elemental carries the worm up to the northern staircase. I'll put you there, Rob. As it ejects you onto the stairs. Drit, you notice in the distance that the worm has been ejected. He's not moving at all. He's just lying there, completely motionless on the stairs, but breathing.
Am I conscious?
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
I was
can
going to say,
sense
I'm
all
pretty
of
sure I'm
this.
still conscious. So, okay, I can act now. Cool.
There are things you can do.
There are things I can do that aren't actions. So, on my turn, I can do something. Cool. Thank you, water elemental.
Can I move as well? I realised I hadn't moved.
You
Might
can.
be a good idea. I'll move over here, still 10 feet above the water. Maybe, yeah. 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, yeah. I can get to
Oh, Rob, no, you can't. You're dazed.
I can't what?
You're dazed.
I can't what?
I don't know what actions you have planned, but you can't
Yeah,
act.
actions. I can't actions. It said actions, right?
You're unable to act. A dazed creature can take no actions, but has no penalty to armor class.
This is actions. Doesn't say anything about swift actions.
Let's still an action.
It's all right. I can deal with that on my next turn, I think.
Ooh. Okay, fair enough. Well, I mean, it's not my turn anyway, is it?
It's not. It's the type of this chul, this slime, lobster, ghoulish creature. And it sees... You're still 10 feet in the air.
Yeah.
It does see, however, that the water elemental is within its attacking distance. And so it starts to move. It gets to there, and that's all it can do. It can't swim any more than that.
That's slow for swimming.
Mm-hmm. The sea hag, however, jumps back into the water. 5, 10. Glides across the surface, and it shoots up to you, Dritkar, an evil-looking eye, as it fires a gaze from its eye. Can you make a will save DC 13 for me, please?
Hopefully. Will. 14.
Just enough. You resist the evil eye as it attempts to daze you for an easy meal if both of you were dazed. But no, you resist. We cut to the worm.
So you're saying that means I can't do swift actions either then? It's just all things I can't do.
Pretty much.
I can't move. Or do actions. Can I speak?
Yes, I will say that's... I mean, your jaw probably is seized up slightly, and maybe your... you got enough...
I'm asking, yes or no, can I speak?
Yeah.
Okay. That's very important.
He's going to hack that.
That's a very, very important thing for me to know. Because
You can't move your arm. You can speak.
I can speak. Okay. I'm gonna hold my speech to if I'm attacked, basically.
Okay.
But yeah, basically, if I'm attacked, I'm gonna hold my speech.
Very well. With that, then, we will cut to Dritkar.
Dritka will move to stand next to the worm to reach down. And he looks down at the worm and he goes, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. We're not in a good way, are we? Luckily, you're in the presence of a unseelie fae of the spring court, my friend. He reaches down and uses Vernal Touch, which is like being kissed by springtime itself, full of life and promise. This touch removes dazed conditions from living creatures, amongst other things, but that's the important one.
Nice.
He snaps to, the kiss of spring.
Still completely motionless on the floor.
Kiss of spring.
And then he turns to look at the water elemental and says, kill them. And the water elemental will take a splash forward, and attempt to open a can of wet will pass upon this creature. So he gets a bonus for being in the water.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't have a lot of strength, but that's +5 to his attack. 20. Does 20 hit?
20 meets the armor class.
What? Are you serious? That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That's the end of my turn.
And the water elementals as well. Both.
Yes, because he took a step towards me and he gets one attack.
Yeah. You're still... Are you on the ground now?
Not quite the ground. I would probably have to be 5 feet from the ground to be able to touch the worm.
The chew-like creature reaches out with its 2 large, horrible-looking claws and goes in to pincer the water elemental as best it can.
AC is 17.
AC 17, the first claw. That's a hit. The second
This isn't
claw.
going to last long.
19 is also a hit.
Desperately looking for damage resistance. There is none. Okay.
So if there is any, this is over 2 hits.
There is not.
Okay. 19 points of damage from the 2.
The water elemental instantly dies.
Oh, the Uchulon, which might have a chance to explore upon later, just reaches out with both of its pincers and just and rips what held the water elemental together into 2 pieces as it dissipates back into the murky, fetid brine. The sea hag. Now, it swims, and as it gets to the top, it goes from swimming to crawling like a rabid animal as the sea hag crawls up the stairs. And as it gets to the top stair there, it reaches up and with its claw just swings up at you. That is a you, Stag. So your armor class is
18.
18. Comes in with 1 claw. Oh, as it misses, you're just a bit too high for it.
So high.
That is all it can do.
Question, sorry. Do we have to do those saves again because it's in front of us, or is it like a...
Once you've made a save, you've either failed it or you passed it. You won't be affected by it again for another 24 hours.
I thought it might be a case, but I didn't want to
Success or
ask that
failure.
because that's... Yeah, okay.
So that is its turn. The worm, you can't move, but you can take actions now.
Yes, he can. So first of all, as a swift action, he garbles from the ground of the soaking wet stairs that he's like diagonally just laid across like an ironing board. He will change his minor aura as a swift action, granting his +5 to charisma to bonus to fortitude saves against the creature, against anything. That's the minor save, and then he will say his voice carrying across to you, Dripped, as his major. He'll take his action to do his major. He will say, "Do take care," as he activates Motivate Care, +5 to armor class.
Oh, yes.
Nice.
So +5 to fortitude saves and +5 to armor class.
Amazing.
That is his turn. Oh, yeah, that's his turn.
Excellent stuff. We then jump back to the top of the round. Dripped, you feel invigorated. Well, you feel motivated, most certainly.
Motivated.
What do you do?
Well, one good turn deserves another, as I'll take a 5-foot step up a way to take me out of the threat range of the sea hag, hopefully. And once more, reach down and touch the worm. This time I'll cast Bear Strength to get in 4 to his strength.
And he stands. He doesn't stand, but he can stand now.
The worm is now on -4 or -5? -4.
-4, yeah.
But you can stand. Your body's going to surge. Excellent there. Very nice. How long does that last?
Not too long. I think it's 1 minute per level.
Hey.
About 8 minutes.
I can move.
8
That's all I need.
minutes.
I just need to be able to move. That's great.
Mm-hmm.
Actually turned it around, mate.
Excellent stuff there.
It's pure luck that it's gone into the things that I haven't.
Yeah, that's mad.
Chosen
You're
at
ready for
random.
that. My goodness.
Brilliant stuff there. Are you doing any movement as well?
I couldn't really, otherwise it had taken attack on me. I just took a 5-foot step.
So you're still 5 feet in the air, but an extra 5 feet back.
Yeah.
Okay.
So effectively gone up 5 feet away. So I'm still 5 feet up above the stairs, but obviously it's stairs, so it's probably an additional 5 feet.
Yes. Excellent. We then cut to the Chul. The Chul is feeling deprived of a meal because the elemental it killed was just water.
Just tasted like water.
Tastes like the dirty water it lives in. And so this slimy lobster creature just moves forward to the worm. As a claw comes at you, the worm, what is your armor class?
It hasn't been my turn yet since my thing was restored, so I am still prone, aren't I?
Yes.
So he just gets a +4 bonus onto me. So that's my normal armor class, right?
Mm-hmm.
My normal armor class is 22.
Well, technically flat-footed, but I guess that comes into the effect with a +4, so I've
No,
already
you
done
get
that.
+4 to attack me when I'm prone. I'm not flat-footed.
Cool. That is added as it slowly rolls the dice. 29.
Hell, well, he still hits me then.
He easily
Ow!
hits you, unfortunately, as he does. "11 points of damage as this claw just
Okay.
claps across you. And then we need to make an opposed grapple check.
Okay. Bum. Oh god. Okay, so my grapple takes into account my my damage. Okay.
Yeah, mine takes into account my size.
Oh yeah. 8.
26.
That's fine.
You are
This is
now
fine.
grabbed in a pincer of the Chul.
Okay, cool.
It is the Sea Hag's turn now. It takes a 5-foot step up the stairs and swats at you with its 2 claws. What's your current armor class now?
So it's +2 from your aura, isn't it? So that is 20.
20. First attack. Oh, hits you but doesn't get through your defenses. Oh! What's it like as this creature just can't make purchase on you?
I think the worm is shouting at Dritz during this. Like, dodge left! Dodge right! Dodge left, you fool!
Hit the pincer as well.
And Dritz just sort of doing it because he's saying it with such authority.
Very nice. Excellent stuff. Then, the worm. You are grappled.
Yeah, I am grappled, and as the grapple takes place, you recall that this automatically happened when he got struck for 11 points of damage, wasn't it?
Yes.
Okay, so as the worm is struck, he'll just go. I'm now going to make. I'm now going to make a bluff check as I activate one of my special abilities that I get from feats.
Bluff check. Okay.
Okay, so he has to match this with his sense motive.
That would just okay.
23.
Nice.
I have to critical then. 7.
Yes.
To the Chul's sensibilities, the worm has been instantly killed by the strike. as he enacts one of his combat panache abilities, which is play dead. You crumple to the ground as if slain, luring your opponent into a false sense of security. As an immediate action after you are hit for at least 10 points of damage, 11, thank you very much, by a single attack, you can attempt to play dead, and then we do this opposed check. Now, if I subsequently rise and attack him in the same round, I will basically catch him and hopefully trigger some excellent bonuses on my turn. We shall see.
Excellent. Amazing. So you have taken this moment to die in its claws.
And just like it's convinced by that it's taken me out. Yeah.
Excellent.
Oh, I love it.
Brilliant stuff. Well, I'm with that awful demise. We've lost the worm already. Drit's
right?
It's had an awful combat. Half drowned and then cut in twain by a crab claw.
Yeah, you probably think I'm a god.
I mean, you could attempt a sense motive.
You could, yeah, to be fair. Sense motive 23.
Because otherwise you might think he actually is dead as well.
That's true, yeah.
20. Oh dear. That's a shame.
Yeah, the slain.
It's been slain.
Well, Drit, what are you going to do?
Is it not the worm's turn?
The worm died.
Well, yeah, but that was
but I still get my turn, right? That was on his
turn then. Because it went the sea hag and then it went to you.
Oh, then it went to me. So then it was my turn to activate that. So I have triggered that and have now died. Let me just double check what usage, because I can't.
I thought it's as a reaction you do it, and then on your turn.
No, I don't think it is as a reaction, because it's
not much
you have to take the damage. Yeah. So let me just quickly double check that if that is, because that would be important, obviously. It says if you subsequently rise and attack him in the same round, it says. Well, how would that...
Surely that means you have to do it as a reaction and then do as your
Well,
your
it
turn.
just means that when you then come out of faking dead, you have to attack as well.
Yeah, okay. If you rise and attack him in the same round, gotcha. Yeah, okay. Apologies.
Oh, gotcha.
We will say, it does appear like that would have been my action, so I will have to rise and strike him on my next turn.
Over it, pincer.
Yeah,
I mean, quite convincing as well, because you can't move as well, so you just gotta stick your tongue out like... and then it's all gone horribly wrong.
I can move.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Yes, you can. Full strength, Castle.
Yeah.
In that case, we jump to Drit Car again, and yes, you are firmly believed the worm has died. You see a sea hag attacking you, and there is a Chul at the bottom of the stairs. What do you do?
Well, that's a real shame. I am going to take a 5-foot step back, and sad though I am, I need to think about my survival now I'm on my own. So, Drit will vanish using invisibility.
Okay. And just like that, and you don't really take any penalties for being covered in water or anything like that. So
I didn't touch the water.
exactly, you are gone. It's vanished. We got to the Chul. It drops the worm just from its pincers, and okay, it goes up the stairs to where you last were seen. And that is it. It attempts to move around, its mandibles, its tentacles all reaching around, trying to find some glimmer of you. The sea hag just screams out and then goes back into the water and drops. The worm. This is now your turn.
How much movement is required to draw my weapon?
You can do it with movement.
As you move, yeah. So I will
As
do
you have
that.
more than 0 base attack.
So all of a sudden you hear as from his death. Oh no, maybe I should wait. Actually, maybe I should wait because I can rise whenever I want. So I think actually he's just gonna lie there a bit longer. He's gonna lie there a bit longer, I think. Oh, I'm so sorry. So if you, yeah, if I have to rise and attack him in the same round to get the ability, I can basically just pause him here for a bit.
Okay.
No, I will do it because otherwise he might
That
not
way you
come
can
in.
ready an action.
That's a great idea. I'll ready an action. Yeah. So if it looks like he's about to move from my range, from my movement distance, if it looks like he's going to do that, then that will trigger my ready an action.
Excellent stuff. With that, then, we jump back to the top of the round and Dritka.
Drit is going to head over the water, probably about 15 feet in the air now because he's been up the steps. And then, I don't quite know what happens when you do this, but I'm going to cast Lightning Bolt into the water.
Cool, yes. That's science.
Gone back into the water.
That's science.
Science, bitch.
Science, bitch.
Okay. So, in 3rd edition, apparently a lightning bolt became a lightning ball underwater, but apparently that wasn't carried through into 3.5. But I quite like that sort of happening. And I can just imagine that in the line down, it sort of explodes outwards like a fireball would anyway. As you shoot lightning bolt down, all of the water surrounding you in a good radius of 10 feet around just explodes outwards as it shoots down. Just... You can't see the sea hag, but unbeknownst to you, the sea hag is about to make a reflex save. What is the DC?
DC 19.
I was about to add 19 to its reflex. I'll just add 19 to its reflex.
That's 90 to his reflex.
I had to critical. No, I didn't. I had to get very high, but Again, it was nowhere near enough, as the sea hag will take full damage from this.
So that's 8d6, isn't it?
Yes.
Bolt. 26 points of damage. As an arc of electricity touches the water and then fries all within it.
You see the water as you're shooting the lightning bolt down. And then slowly emerges a back and then a head as it's all facing down as it floats up as the sea hag lies defeated.
Whoa! No way!
Easy
Amazing.
kill there. Well done.
Oh my god.
I think that breaks my invisibility though, doesn't it?
It does. It's not greater invisibility, so you are now back present in the space. The Chul now go. And it goes down the steps, and it looks like it's going to sweep up the worm, as if someone's taking it shopping back home with it. It's just going to look like it's picking up the worm to take it into the water with it.
There is a sudden foul shriek as the worm triggers its readied action and rises up. There is a snap as a keen rapier flashes in the gloom, as he will make an attack against the creature that is considered flat-footed. So when I strike him, he's considered flat-footed. As I strike with the rapier. And because of weapon finesse, I use my dex to attack, baby.
Very nice.
So that means that my attacks with the rapier are unaffected, at least in attacks anyway. Let's see.
Stab.
That's why I haven't got my
15 or more.
book open. Yeah, 15 or more, is it?
The threat.
Oh yes, the threat. That is 20 to hit. That's not a threat.
It's not a threat, and 20 is the armor class.
The flat-footed armor class.
Oh, I'm so sorry. The 19 is the flat-footed armor class. That is a hit.
Oh my god, so that does, first of all then, it's only a small rapier, so it does a d4 point of damage, but that's not why he's using it.
Oh, yes.
He does 4 points of damage, and now the Chul guy needs to make a DC 20 fortitude saving throw.
Is it a poison?
Yeah.
It doesn't seem to flinch.
That's fine. That's okay.
It is completely immune to poison, is this creature.
I thought it probably was going to be, but never mind.
But you're able to just appear up and go, aha, and stab it in the back.
Oh, so I'm behind it, am I?
Well, sorry, stab it in front. You flat-footed attack.
Yeah, I
Right
slice
to pick
him.
you up. Yes, excellent stuff.
That could have been much better had he not been immune to that poison.
Fortunately.
Okay.
So you're standing now. You've attacked.
I've attacked, and I'm going to use a swift action. Oh no, that is still active, so we're still gaining the benefit of the armor class boost and the fortitude boost.
Yeah.
Cool. That's all. That's the only thing I can. I struck. I guess I could move. It wouldn't. I don't provoke an attack of opportunity from him, so I've stood and struck. Is that like to stand? That's half your movement, isn't it?
It is, yes.
But then if I move, he's just going to be drawn down, and I want to keep him in close range to Drit. Yeah, I'll just stay where I am. The small rapier poised at the Chul, waiting.
Nice. In that case, Drit, you see, to your surprise, the worm has risen.
Ah!
Haha.
What do you do?
Lives. Is it the rest of the thing's turn, or
Oh, I'm sorry, because that was a reaction.
that was a held action? It wasn't
was.
even the worm's turn.
Thank you for your honesty.
Yeah. Well, it means the worm gets another turn.
Well, he spent some movement trying to pick me up, surely. That's a decided action right there.
Which means that is actually all he can do, because he moved and then he would have gone to commence a grapple. So that is his turn regardless. So yes, it is the worm's turn. So your actual turn now, the worm. You can take another attack, or you can retreat.
If I retreat, I'm just going into the water and helping it. So I'm in fact going to move, but around it, staying in its threat range. So the worm scrambles around the steps, and as he does, he'll just swipe hard with the rapier. His auras are already active, so I think it's best that he's defensive, so he's going to keep those auras active, and we'll just swipe hard with the keen blade. Which is a 19, which is possibly a critical.
It is possibly a critical.
Just got to roll a 15 or higher.
But 22 hits, which means that is a confirmed critical.
That is a confirmed critical hit.
Now,
D100, eh?
Before you do that, the attack, as it hits this thick slime that covers the creature, which means there's a chance that this slime, as well as boosting its armor, might help deflect the rapier away from a vital part. I'm going to roll a d4.
It has 4. What the fuck?
On an odd, the attack is a miss, as slime. The attack is not a critical, as the slime deflects it away from a vital part. On an even, the attack is a critical hit.
Okay.
It's just a regular hit, I'm afraid. As it's protective
50%
slime.
fortification.
Yep.
3 points of damage.
Excellent. As you almost get in there, but that slime just deflects your rapier away from its vitals.
Well, I've moved and I've struck. That's my turn.
Excellent stuff. Drit.
In for a penny, in for a pound, I suppose.
Mm-hmm.
I will use my last level 4 spell, all in one combat pretty much. Cast Lightning Bolt for the last time on the creature. So, reflex save DC 19, please.
Oh, it loves a reflex save, this one. I think, actually. Yep. Exactly the same. Oh! It rolls 20! This jewel! This Chulan.
Is invincible.
It's fucking solid, yes.
15 points of electricity.
Oh,
arc through it.
beautiful.
Yeah, never mind.
Yeah, you just see it just as some of its tentacles just kind of straighten out for a second. You can see between some of its antennas and its mandibles just a current arcing between them for a moment. But it manages to hold itself in good stead. It looks and scuttles around, but the prey in front of it, its food it could not have earlier, takes its fancy. Your now modified armor class, the worm?
Oh, right, because, yeah, if we're saying that it affects me as well, then that means that my armor class has +5 to it. So 27 to hit.
+5. Just checking, major auras, are they scaling off charisma or are they on the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5?
I thought they scaled with. I thought they were my as my charisma. No,
I think that's minor auras, if memory serves.
Yeah, my memory seems to flick that way as well.
I will look it up then. What's the other one then? I have the page here.
Major auras typically scale as +1 bonus, +2 bonus, +3, and so on.
A major aura lets allies grant a +1 to certain rolls. This improves by plus. Okay, so it's +2. So my improved armor class. Apologies, I missed that completely. My improved armor class is 24 then in that case.
24. Still an impressive target to reach as the first claw comes in. Oh, it just connects.
Fucking hell. What is with these rolls, man? You never roll as well when you're my ally. No fucking misses when you on my
I know.
side.
Same with Silaster. Silaster missed so much, and now a chul, a weird lobster cretin thing. Anyway, these two claws come in, and they deal. A very, very low 15 points of damage. And then you need to make a grapple check for me.
That's fine.
He's gonna just
be dead again.
It's just that. So that's a 7 to oppose his grapple.
19. A claw gets you.
That's fine. That's cool.
Okay. It's now your turn.
Okay. The kobold is gonna stare at the chul straight in its dull, stupid eyes, and he is going to give him a sneering glower.
A sneering glower.
So with the right mix of your intimidating presence and your martial talents, you strike such fear into your target that it has difficulty fighting you effectively. So on your next turn, after you deal at least 1 point of damage, I believe I dealt 3 or 4, you make an intimidate check against him. If you succeed on this check, your foe takes a penalty on their attack rolls to you equal to your charisma bonus. So I know he doesn't have to hit me, but at least that's something that if I can escape, that's on there.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm intimidating against...
No. I'm intimidating you, and you... what does it say? It doesn't actually... So it's an intimidate. It just says an intimidate check, so I guess that's based on a will save, then. That's what it usually is, isn't it?
Yes. Typically, if you're demoralizing against a target's modified level check. So, yes.
I don't know, mate.
Modified level check.
28.
I'm going to use his will save rather than try to figure out hit die and things like that.
Sure. I mean, either way.
What is it like as you successfully intimidate this
So he's
chul?
picked this thing up and once again thinks he's probably killed him in one, and there's just this like glowing yellow dots in the darkness of his skull-like face staring at him. Like, he doesn't say anything, he just looks at him because it's a sneering glower, that's what it is. So he glowers at the creature and he lets it tremble at its very touch.
And there is something quite smart about this chul, smarter than the average monster, that it recognizes what you are doing, and in doing so, it is, yes, he is at penalty, so -5, was it?
Your foe takes a penalty on their attack rolls against you equal to your charisma bonus. So yes, 5.
Well, that's good. Mm-hmm. Excellent.
I've just got to hit them first.
Fair enough. With that, we cut back to the drenched room and a car.
Yes. So I will cast Produce Flame. Which I think I have to do as a round before I can actually use it as a weapon.
Mhm.
Yeah. So I will cast Produce Flame, but I will change the energy into Sonic Energy.
Ooh.
So you produce sonic energy in your hand.
Yes.
Cool.
Okay.
So a sort of warbling ball of sonic power forms in Drit's hand as he
Nice.
gets ready to launch it.
Excellent stuff there. We cut to the Chul, and its first... Actually, it's quite happy where it is. What it's going to do is going to attempt to constrict you, the worm.
Yeah, I knew this would be the case.
So we'll do an opposed grapple check and see...
But now that he's got me, I can use my escape artist rather than his thing. You can't oppose a grapple with escape artist, but you can escape a grapple with escape artist, which is exactly what I'm going to try and do. Because I remember we forgot about that for ages, and because of this very reason, I put quite a lot into escape artist.
You need to...
It was expensive. Oh, for Fran's sake.
Oh,
Well, I'll roll anyway. No.
Even if you'd maxed it, that would not have been enough as the critical from the Chul. It sees you trying to escape and it just pinches you even tighter as it does. 14 points of damage.
Blumenack.
For the moment, that's all it's going to do. It's quite focused on the worm at the moment.
No way, don't say.
Don't say. So the
worm
worm.
on the end of the line here. Get it, because he's a worm on the end of the line and we're in water. Is it my turn? Sorry.
It is.
I'm going to try and escape again.
Cool.
I don't think I can succeed. I don't think I can.
You can.
I don't think I can. No, I don't think I can. I literally can't.
On 26, you could.
Oh yeah, I guess only just.
Got a
then.
10% chance, yeah. Yeah, you try to wriggle out.
I do that, and that is that's my combat action, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay. What is my major at the moment is armor class. It doesn't matter at the moment because he's got me, so it doesn't matter about my armor class. But as a swift
Did you
action,
change your minor?
Yes, no, my minor stayed as fortitude saves.
Okay, yeah, that's...
I can change my major though, which I'm going to. I drop the motivate care one, which drops the armor class, and yeah, I'm going to instead imbue myself with dropping my major aura and replacing it with a draconic aura.
Ooh.
Because I am dragon wrought, I have access to draconic auras, which is pretty great. So I bring about draconic aura presence, which will grant me a bonus on bluff, diplomacy, and most importantly, intimidate checks. For what we hope to do next if I don't get cut in half.
Okay. With that then,
Yeah, that's my turn, sorry.
cut to Drit car.
So Drit will launch a sonic flame at the back of this creature. It's a ray attack, so it's on his touch armor. Range touch, I guess. That is a very poor roll, though.
Its touch is 12.
Well,
Hang on. No, sorry. I misread. Sorry. Never mind. Ignore me.
cool. Yeah, that's it. I don't want to move anything.
Don't blame you. In that case, we're going to come back to the Chul. And he's trying to squeeze the life out of the worm. So, do you want to do an escape artist? Against
Yeah,
Constrict?
certainly. Yeah, absolutely.
23.
It's not going to happen, is it?
I mean, that's more plausible. Not with that roll.
One, I can't roll above a 6, and also it's immensely much more stronger than I am.
Aye. For 11 points of damage as it squeezed more on the worm.
Please shoot it.
Trying.
Then in that case, the worm. Is there anything you are trying to do?
There's nothing I can do. I can't do anything.
Keep trying to escape?
God, I know how I sound like now. Goodness. Yeah, I guess I have to, don't I?
Yes, you got a chance.
I don't really, but yeah, opposed, then escape
On
artist.
that.
10!
What's your highest roll so far this session?
Probably 6, I think.
Oh,
I think you might have rolled an 11 at one point.
I know, I think I did a quite
no,
good
you
attack,
rolled a
but then
19.
it immediately
Yeah.
negated it. Yeah.
Yeah.
yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Drit, then. Drit Car.
So the good thing about Produce Flame is that I get 8 minutes worth of flame, and every time I throw it, it takes off a minute.
Oh,
I
so
effectively get 8 attacks.
you've got 7 shots left.
Yeah, exactly. So we shall go once more.
So touch is 12.
Wait!
Ah!
It's too late. Don't worry.
It's a hit.
Teeth. It's a hit.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't do a lot of damage, but it does 9.
Oh, that's a nice amount of damage. As you hit it in the back, and it's like, and you just see the worm
It's a little
flick
sonic.
up and down. It's catapulting it in his hand somewhat. You can see, yes, the worm. You are knocked back slightly. Drit, is there any more that you wish to do?
There's not really anything I can't really help him out of this particular endeavour, sadly. So it's over to you.
In that case, it's going to continue to constrict. Which it does so against the worm.
So he has to oppose it again, right?
Yep.
First.
So that is its grapple against your escape artist. Oh, those rolls.
dear.
Not just the rolls, though, is it? Let's be honest.
It's not just the rolls, but the rolls aren't
just the
helping at
rolls,
all.
But they really are not helping in any way.
You might have stood a chance if you'd been rolling well.
Oh!
Almost
That's
max
one
million
off
damage.
Maximilian. That's 21 points of constriction damage against the worm.
Okay, hang on. So,
Close.
Okay. He you hear like a snap, and the worm is just goes completely like just broken and limp as he's knocked to minus figures.
How many minus figures?
I'm not saying.
Okay.
Unless I have to say, I'll say actually it's fine. I'm at -8.
-8.
Fucking hell.
Wow. Okay. The Chul then sees the worm drop limply in its hands, and at this point it looks like it's about to make a move back into the water, but that was its round. The worm. You have a 10% chance here to stabilize.
So 1 to 10 on a D100.
Yeah.
We'll go low. I'll probably roll the highest I've ever rolled on a D100.
You'll get 100 now.
I'll manifest it.
No.
-9 then. Dritkar.
Well, it's very difficult. Because if I save you, he's going to get me, isn't he?
I don't know, he's so rather single-minded in compress. Even whilst you've been attacking him, he's just unreservedly been going for me, so I think you'll be okay.
Well, I can't just let you die, so I'll 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Annoyingly, I can only get to there, so he's going to get an attack of opportunity on me as I give you a health potion, I suppose.
Can he if I'm in his claws?
He said he dropped you.
He said, you dropped in his claws. Did I actually say he dropped him?
Oh, maybe
if
not.
If I did,
maybe I miss.
I don't remember.
Oh, well, if not, then I can't presumably give you a health potion anyway. It's actually there. Well, yeah, it'll just have to come down to luck on the last die then, I suppose. There's no, I can't give you a health potion if he's in the monster's hands, presumably.
But he can't attack of opportunity you either, so I don't know what you want to do.
What's the word, DM? What's the...
It would be entering into a grapple, basically. Because you're joining a grapple to do something.
Right.
So you'd be entering a grapple. I would say he'd probably be at a lower DC, so probably taking 4 off his attack roll because his pincer is already engaged in constricting the worm. So you'd be opposing a grapple check to intervene with the action that's going on there. People can keep jumping into grapple checks. You can end up with a massive grapple chain. But to go into a grapple and directly interact with a character, you'd be basically the thing would be able to swat you aside in theory.
Yeah, probably. Stupidly, don't have any healing spells because I don't have access to that thing, so that's sort of the only thing I can do, so I suppose it's very unlikely to work, but let's do it. My grapple is +1. I
wouldn't risk yourself, mate, personally. I wouldn't. It's not going to work, is it?
Well, if you die, though, we're going to have to start again anyway, so I might as well, right?
You're against 20.
Okay. Not far off, to be fair.
Not far off. But not enough. You attempt to go in there to feed a potion, but the Ushulon is able to just move the worm back and stop you from getting involved in that conflict.
So that's movement and an action, so that's me done.
Well, I'll read this out later. It sees, so you're now within range.
Yeah.
An Uxalon is a smart creature. In fact, you can give me a knowledge dungeoneering to see if you've heard stories about. If you've got
think I
knowledge
have knowledge engineering. I have knowledge arcana, and that's it.
The worm have had knowledge dungeoneering?
No, I don't have knowledge engineering.
Okay.
I'm unconscious, so it doesn't matter if I...
Oh, well, I can take it, but I haven't got any ranks in it.
Fair enough. Just curious. It... relishing close combat, it drops the worm and then just immediately goes for a full attack upon you, Trit.
Okay.
Your current armor class is...
Because the worm's dropped, it's 18, isn't it? Oh, he dropped the thing anyway, so yeah, it's 18.
Yeah.
Which should be easy for him to hit.
19 with the first. Where was this with Hero? 19 for the second, as two claws just tick, tick. Combined total of 22 points of damage.
Okay.
And then we need to do an opposed grapple check. This isn't without any penalties here.
I don't think the check is necessary, but okay.
Never know.
I mean, I can't hit that, so.
It then has you in its claws.
Sure.
The worm.
So that was -9. I'm on -10, which I believe that means the worm goes and dies.
But actually this time.
And is there anything that goes through the worm's mind at this point?
The worm sees his... he sees fire, and he sees the bright fire of the ring of Festoonriax, as the fire of his life is snuffed out. It is returned to the flame of the dragon forge, where he will be reborn.
Maybe in another time we will learn more of this.
I'm categorically going to bring the worm back in some guise or other, for sure.
As the bird.
Yeah, he'll be like the bird. Yeah.
That is an impressive visual that passes through your mind, that then fades away, and before we can mourn the worm, we need to see what happens to Drit Ka against the Chul. It is your turn.
So I'm not going to be able to escape a grapple, so I'm going to have to just try and hit him with the energy blast.
Yes.
It can be a melee as well as a ranged attack. So it's a
Yes.
disadvantage.
I think you're doing it at -4. Let me just confirm that.
think I need critical to hit him then.
You can make an attack with an unarmed strike, natural weapon, or light weapon against another creature you are grappling. You take a -4 penalty on such attacks.
Yeah, well, it's melee touch, so it would be... oh, it is on his touch, I guess. So yeah, -4. That's a miss! Killed me.
It's just this thing just bounces off its protective slime that it has, as it then is just going to attempt to constrict you.
Yeah, makes sense.
34. I mean, you might critical, I don't know.
No. I rolled better than Rob. Rob might have escaped with those rolls.
12 points of damage.
I'm still alive.
Okay.
Just... same again, I guess.
Yeah.
-3. Nope. Could I use Escape Artist instead? I don't have the skill.
He's Escape Artist trained only.
I'm not sure. I can quickly Google.
I can too.
It doesn't make a huge difference either way, but it does make a little difference. That's not helpful.
I'm just going to say you can, and we can probably look it up later.
14.
I
think he makes that as long as he didn't get a 1, right?
Pretty much. Yeah.
That's
19 points of
instant
damage.
death.
Instant death. God.
I had 4 points left.
Oh, as the Uxalon squeezes you, and with his final action picks the two of you up and takes you back into the murky, brackenous brine, ready to feast on you later. What is the final thought that goes through Dritkar's head?
Dritkar, in his days as he succumbs to the crushing power of the claws, dreams of an open field and a gentle breeze washing over it as his soul returns to the Feywild once more.
And to both of you, the last thing you would have seen, Drit, and potentially you as well, Worm, was the Mind Flayer's parasite crawling behind and over the eye of the Uxalon, governing its actions as well as the thing. Much smarter than an average beast, potentially smarter than some of you, takes you back into the murkiness, brackenous water, where the company of the worm and the stag vanish into White Plume Mountain, into the domain of Keraptis. So the first
we did even more poorly in the first combat that we came across than me and you, Mike. That was... I feel like that's a bad mix of characters.
Terrible.
I think
Can you think of a worse combination of characters to be dropped in that situation? I literally can't think of any.
God. You had a
poorly
weird...
statted, low stats against two creatures that a level 8 party are meant to be fighting, and we as blithering, dithering dragon magic book classes fucking come out of the fucking gate and get mauled. Obviously that was gonna happen.
quite a
I thought
cast.
we were going to last a bit longer.
Me too. I will say this.
So everything
the
that could have gone
hag.
wrong. Sorry.
I never, like, when I looked at the sea hag, like, happily, it had 19 hit points, and I was thinking, okay, if you can pass against its appearance or its gaze, it really won't pose a problem. But when it does that in the water, it's just
No. There was no way. We were lucky to even get as far as we did. I think actually.
yeah, and the
I'm gutted. I am gutted.
the Uchalon is I'll tell you now because it makes no difference knowing this. Is a beyond a normal tool. It is corrupted by a mind flayer parasite, so it is cursed with abnormal intelligence, and they relish close combat. Smart enough to know it can't reach things at height. It was just dealing with what it could. And yeah. If you didn't have that flying ability, that would have been...
Oh, that would have lasted seconds.
Yeah. And the summoning of the water element I really enjoyed. I thought that was a lovely trick to get the worm out.
Yeah, I think maybe I concentrated too much on trying to get Rob back into the combat. Maybe should have just tried to kill the creatures first and then revive him. That might have been more sensible.
No, I appreciate you trying, mate.
But I didn't want to just watch you. I didn't want you to sit there and not have anything to do. That seemed like a shame. So
that combat is triggered, so you immediately can't do anything. I'm fairly certain. The second I went off into the water, then I crit failed on my initiative. Like there's nothing. I don't feel like there's anything that could have been done to prevent what happened from happening. So it's kind of cool because it's like, wow, look how dangerous the fucking White Plume Mountain is. Look what we have to face next time we go in there. But at the same time, it's like, oh damn, I liked the worm. But I mean what I said. I hope that he can come back, not in this game, but at some point in the future, wrought, because that's the whole point of them. They are taken from the fire by the dragons and brought into forces.
I mean, considering that this game exists in a time that's not stated, there's nothing to say that maybe the worm can't appear in our normal game, shall we say.
He might come back as a guest character. Yeah.
We've often said the fourth era.
Yes, we were just saying this is maybe these have occurred in the fourth era, so the worm could appear. And then what I said before I want to push this further is to just say to you, humble viewer, what would you have done in this situation?
What was the correct course of action?
With a weird caster and essentially a leader motivator type of character. Which
I think probably the first step would be not to use those two classes together when it's just those two.
So, I will now, before we push this into inevitably re-rolling for some things which we'll do off recording, I'm going to pose to you two questions.
Okay.
Firstly, as I said to Dom there, and I extend to you, Rob, I'm happy if you wish to try the White Plume Mountain again, because you barely made a dent, would you do it as a level 9 duo?
I don't honestly. If we were level 9 martial and a level 9 whatever you are, sorry Dom, Shugenja, I don't think that. I still think that probably would have gone the same. I think so. I think no doubt we're doing it again for sure because we want to go through it absolutely. But we, of course, will have to do it as new characters, so we will re-roll and we will literally start from the start. I think we should literally start from the start as well. Like, I mean,
well, what I may use the exact starting blurb. I may not give you the tavern, Or I might do exactly the same introduction, and he's going, I sent some adventurers out to
We could
Weaver,
just,
and they've not returned."
we could do that.
Yeah.
We should do that.
So, we will see. The second point, because we opened up, to you, the viewer, we opened up the rolling for the classes beyond the player's handbook to every class that was available in the game. We found a table that listed every class, so we rolled randomly for the book and then rolled randomly for the classes within the book. I turn to you two here and say, that has a lot of margin for good and, as we've just discovered, questionable. Do we still want to maintain that, or do we wish to limit those options?
I want to roll again. I'm down to roll again.
Yeah.
It's funny. It's
really
funny.
enjoy the opportunity to play things that I wouldn't normally play.
Yeah, I
Like the
would
fact to
never
play
have
two
picked that in a
full
million years.
spellcasters.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's just not how I like to play.
I'm glad you said that. That makes me very happy. I suppose then we're going to probably now jump off this, and we're going to do some rolling, and we will surprise you next time. But as always, if there's anything you would have done differently with these, this
Bearing in mind we had no choice.
with the Marsh or the Shigenja, or would you have taken a different path? And if you have played this module before, without giving too much away for our fellow players or for anyone else's viewing, and you took the northern path, what happened to you? Did you struggle with the Sea Hag and the Utralon, or were you able to find a way around that? Okay, yeah, give us a like and subscribe, and as we always say on whenever we finish a game here in Roll the Bones, bone them rolls.
Bone them rolls that slaughtered us as we stood. They slaughtered us. They slaughtered us. I will return. I promise I will return.